You can start.
Yeah, so a very good afternoon to one and all, honorable dignitaries, industry colleagues, faculty members, participants, coordinators, and my dear students. I, Dr. Deepakar, take immense pleasure to welcome every one of you and extend the warmest welcome to all of you for the last day, which is 10th day of the AI Conclave 2020, on behalf of Department of Management Studies, the Anand Sagar College of Engineering. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence quickly rose from obscurity a few years ago to become one of the hottest topics today. But with such a fast ascension, there is a lot of confusion, misunderstanding, and false promise about what the technology can do and how do we cut through the hype to determine how powerful AI really is, and if it is so, if it looks so promising, how to embed it in the organization practices. So today, it is indeed my privilege to welcome again Mr. Pradeep Srinivas in our 10 days AI Conclave 2020. Pradeep is a data science practitioner with experience in AI and machine learning. He has worked with Mercedes-Benz, Shell, and other companies. Currently, he is based out of Netherlands. Mr. Pradeep will be taking practical session on applications of ALTERYX in the field of AI today. Before Pradeep takes over the session, I request our beloved head of the department, Dr. KG Hemlata, Department of Management Studies, to welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon, dignitaries, my dear faculty member and students. I'm glad to again welcome our Mr. Srinivas Pradeep for the program, because he has been associated with us for long and throughout in future. The moment we started our journey in HR Conclave, I think we have come to the AI Conclave today. We have seen wonderful presentation from Srinivas Pradeep, the very first day of our conclave, and today we are going to update ourselves with ALTERYX. It is based on his idea, and we are here today to learn about what is a new thing in the industry. And specifically, he wanted to give an overview about ALTERYX, so we have welcomed his move, and then I'm here to welcome and giving a session for our students. Thank you very much. Over to you, Pradeep.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hema. Thank you, Dr. Deepak. It's my immense pleasure to be part of the program, and I would like to share whatever is currently going on in the industry. So first of all, I would like to thank management and also professor and head of the department, and thank you all for coming over here and let's have a wonderful session. So let me start with what is an ALTERYX, and basically why we need to learn this and why and how it is done, right? This is basically a citizen data scientist tool. What do you mean by citizen data scientist tool is like where you need to just drag and drop and it does everything, right? So there are so many tools which are already available in the market, right? Everybody uses their own tool. Like somebody talks about Power BI, somebody talks about Tableau, somebody talks about Python, R. So there are so many open source tools. There are also the tools like Orange, which is a citizen data scientist tool. But this tool, which is currently widely used in many industries because of its ease of use, right? You may have a different questions like why ALTERYX, why not Power BI, why not Tableau, right? But there are different functionalities within the ALTERYX which makes it very easy and very intuitive. If you are a kind of a person who can really think very programmatically, not I mean by proper coding, but rather by just thinking logically, then this is the tool for you, right? I'm not here to sell about ALTERYX, but this has been, I've been using this ALTERYX for last almost now uh, 4 to 5 years. This tool started from when it was a very baby or not even matured, but now it is almost in a close stage where it is actually matured product, which can be used widely by even by top executives and management people. They use it because it's simple drag and tool. There is no need of coding in R or Python or anything, which actually makes sometimes the life difficult for the people who don't come from a programming background. So let me start with what is I'm not here. I'm not going to present any presentations or any slides here. Directly, my agenda for today will be giving you an overview of how ALTERYX looks like, what are the things which are present in ALTERYX, and giving you a simple demo of like how it can be worked, right? So most it's basically comes with the practice. Like once you go back, if you have a trial version, you can upload any data and start playing with that and see how what it can do a magic for you. For example, if you see, just imagine like what will be if somebody gives you data to work on, right? What you will do generally, you will first understand what is the business problem, and then you will think that, okay, where is the data, what kind of variables we have. um, then we'll do some exploratory analysis, we'll do some visualizations, and then we go for actually thinking of building a model, right? So this is the entire mostly the data science life cycle which is happening. Now this Alteryx tool has all the things which you can do it. It can even connect with cloud. It can even connect with different databases. So let me start with that. So this is how the tool looks like. Dr. Deepak, you can see my screen.
We can see, Pradeep. We can see.
Yeah. So this is how the Alteryx looks like. So here you don't have to understand the complex data structure architecture of Alteryx to really start using this, right? Even a layman without any knowledge of data science or uh, any knowledge of even computer science can really start using it and playing with that, right? So let me start with how things works in the field of Alteryx. So here are like is our basic menus, like you have file, edit, view options, right? And then you within this, if you can see, uh, if you go to the help, the best thing about Alteryx is like it's a very good, having a very good great community. If you are stuck with anything like you don't know how to do it, there is a community called Alteryx community. You just go and post your questions and they will give you the answer itself. And sometimes they guide you and sometimes they give you the real answer, right? So so just think about it like what you do first as a person when you get some problem to work on, right? So first you understand the problem. Of course, Alteryx cannot explain you understanding the problem, that you have to do with your team and your professors or your management to really understand what the problem is. So as the next step, what you will do is that you will try to input and view data. All right. So there are different options. So it starts with like this, that you have input data, you have transform data, you have analyze data, and there are different applications which you can do. Just think of using an Excel file, right? How do you do that? What do you do that? You just import the data inside an Excel file as an CSV or XLS, and then you try to do basic charts there, or you try to create a macro which can actually run so many applications for you. So these are the basic things which you do it in Excel. But just think about the same thing using an Alteryx tool, which makes your life much more easier, right? So let's start with that. So so generally what you do when you have first the data, right? So you try to input the data. So this is the first, these are the different tabs which we have. First I will explain what all the different tabs which we have, and then I will go through in little bit in detail about what each and everything does, right? And then finally I will show you a demo. So it starts with an input and output data, where you have input data, you have output data. So these things will help you in importing the data, and this will help you in outputting the final data. So don't keep your inquisitive little bit hold on, because I will show you that how do you use this. First I would like to introduce what is there. The next comes the preparation. So what you do generally when you get the data, right? You try to cleanse the data, you try to filter the data, you can create even formulas inside the Excel, right? You using your if statement, if else statement, or general formulas which you does it in Excel, right? If you want to generate few rows of data, right? If you have a transaction data and you like to generate the sequence of numbers or transactions, like you sometimes do a fuzzy logic where you can generate few data. If you have a missing value, right, you try to impute those data using a missing value, like using mean, median, etc. If you have categories, like for example age category, all right, and you have different ages and you wanted to categorize into different buckets, like 0 to 10th. So you don't have to do it uh, this helps you in intuitively uh, doing everything for you, right? And then if you have if you have so much of data and if you have to write so much formulas inside an Excel, rather use this, which can actually help you in selecting those. Also, we do sampling. When we do any analysis, we try to select those samples, say 70% or 30%, and then divide. This can actually help you out. It can actually also helps you in creating the records, right? For example, there may not be a particular column which actually talks about which row it is. You can create your records there. This one is very useful and widely used in Alteryx. Like if you have so many columns in a data set, you would like to select only few columns for analysis, and you would like to include few other columns, right? So if you use this particular tool, it can actually help you in selecting a particular columns, which rows of data which you want. You can actually sort. When you go to Excel, you select a particular column and you sort it. Rather, if you just bring it down and then start using it, then it will automatically sort. Just you have to give the field names which you would like to sort. There may be a situation where you would have faced, like, you have so much records, but you wanted to remove all the duplicates records and keep only the ones which are very unique, right? So this helps you in selecting only the records which are actually unique. What's the beauty of is that when you use all these things and create a kind of a workflow, then automatically you can use it any point of time. You don't have to create it again and again. I will show you what I mean by that. Then when you have the data, you have multiple data sources. So what you do generally, you try to join the data set, you try to combine the data set, append the data sets and everything, right? Most of the time of joining the data set with multiple data sources, and then combining and create one data set for your analysis. So you can use this join tool, which can actually help you in appending the fields. Even you can find and replace, right? If you wanted, like what you do it in Control F and H in Excel, like where you go and search for a particular rows, a particular column or particular value, this can actually help you. What is this fuzzy match? For example, just think about it like you have a column with lot of text, right? Open text which you have, and if you like to see whether there are any similar text in the same column, right? For example, it happens that you have this is my dog, right? And then if you see that there were some similar kind of a sentence which are already present in that particular column. So if you'd like to know whether there are any duplicates, right? So, and if you like to take the frequency or the count of the similar sentences, you can use this fuzzy match. It can actually identify all the non-identical duplicates in a data stream and give you. This is widely used in currently the industry, this particular thing, because there are a lot of frauds happening, right? People will give the same name, but there will be millions of record, and they think that, okay, nobody can identify if we give the same name or the description across, right? So this, if you use this, this can actually help you in identifying the duplicates one, and obviously the potential fraud. And this is the tool which can actually use for joining or multiple databases. Union tool is for mostly for appending, like if you have already created the 3 or 4 different databases together, and finally you wanted to append all of them, then you can use this tool, which can actually help you in identifying or help you in appending all of them. Then this is a parse. Like nowadays, we all talk about sentiment analysis. You have a lot of text, right, with a lot of different characters. So you can use this reject regular expressions, which you would have already familiar with, which can actually help you in identifying or separating all those unwanted characters inside a text, and giving you a very clean text at later point of time, which you can directly analyze. So you don't have to manually go and remove the comma, asterisks or exclamations. You can just use this tool, connect to your data source, and then it does everything for you. Even in Excel, you do the text to columns, which you can perform it here. Which why I'm telling you this, that in future it's possible that the coding goes the level of coding which is required is not much. People will start using things which is actually very menu driven, rather than spending so much time on writing 1,000 lines of code. And people from non-programming background will have a definitely benefit from these things. Then you have date time. If you just I will tell you what actually how it works. Then you have transform. For example, if you can do a cross tab, you can summarize all the informations which you have. For example, if you'd like to see if there are particular columns, and then there is an field called amount, and you would like to group by a particular country or a particular product, then you can use these tools. The same thing you can do it in Excel as well, where you do a pivot. But advantage of doing this is that it's faster, and once you create this workflow, you can save it, and any point of time anyone can use it. Otherwise, in Excel, if you see, you have to create for your own self, and if you want to do for someone else, then you have to help them with the formulas and do it everything manually, right? So this is a very big advantage of using an Alteryx as a tool. And most important thing is this is very secured. Like, it's not an open source tool, so where your data won't be exposed to outside environment or anybody can use it. So it's more compliance and legally bounded. So if you purchase this or if you start using it, then it will be within your own organization or within your own institution, so it will not be shared outside as such. So this is the next. We can go to the databases. You might are familiar, or you might be knowing, so there are different databases in current world, right? How do you There are live streaming data, right? Where people just get the live data from vehicles or cars, whatever. And then if you wanted to use those information and start collecting and processing it, you can use this tab. And this will definitely help you in connecting all of them together and making your life much more easier. All this well, but once you have all the data, all the informations, and what you do generally, you do a reporting at the end, right? Once you have imported the data, you analyze the data, and finally you wanted to report it, and you wanted to send it to someone, either in PDF format or any other format, whichever you like, right? So this is, so there again, you don't have to do anything by going copy pasting everything in a Word document, or from an Excel to the Word document, copy the table. This is what generally we do, right? To create and report, we copy paste everything together, and finally we create one documents which can be actually sent to your management. But this actually helps you very intuitively. If you see here, this is the last stage where you can even email. Once your report is done, you can send it to your management. Just give your mail address, and then even you can create a list of email IDs which you would like to send, and then you can also schedule it. So just connect this at the end of the analysis, and then provide all the information, and it can do the wonders for you. It can also generate insights, which is very intuitive. Once you look at this, and then you can automatically understand that what actually your data is doing, what kind of information we can really give some recommendations as such. This is another beautiful thing. This is interactive chart. So once you again connect to your particular workflow, everything, you can create your own charts inside it. You can specify it what kind of charts. All the charts, most of the charts are already present here. So you don't have to do anything except that you have to select which field you would like to give, so that it can generate a particular graphs for you. And finally, you can attach this email with all the reports, and then it can send it to the management. You can also create your report header. For example, if I would like to say 2017 2018 sales for a particular product, I can create a header, and then automatically it creates those header and send it. This table is very important, because this table will actually give you a nice frequency count of a particular product or a particular by country, and these are all part of your report, right? Final report, which you can also save as a PDF inside this, and this can actually help you in creating, directly downloading the entire report in a PDF format. So you just need to run this here, if you can see my screen, and then it actually runs the entire stuff, and finally even send an email to the final client. And this is currently practiced in most of the industry, because it makes life easier for most of the executives as well, and even for the people who don't want to do any programming and they just wanted to drag and drop. Because once I schedule it, and it automatically is there, even though I don't have to run it, I can even schedule. There is something called, this is an Alteryx desktop version. There is also a called server, Alteryx server, where you can just go and schedule it, and you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to come and run these things and send it to someone. It automatically runs everything for you. You just need to schedule the timing, and that's it. The next thing comes documentation, right? In Excel, you can insert comments where you can add different comments to whatever the data set the analysis you're doing. Here's the similar thing. You can just add the comments, you can add your text, and then it actually be part of your final documentation as well. Then the spatial. This is very, very special of Alteryx. Again, I think there are other tools which are actually using it, which are actually having this inbuilt capacity of doing in latitude and longitude, or creating a geographical kind of an thing. Like, for example, even Power BI has it. But why this is more of a drag and drop tool. Here, you don't have to go and write something or code something to actually build the entire uh, process or a workflow here. It here just you need to drag and drop, and it actually creates those calculates those distance between two latitude and longitude points. This is very useful because I have done one use cases when I was working with Mercedes. We wanted to identify the real-time location of the cars and also the problem areas, right? So we used Alteryx and the spatial tool, because it actually helped us in we just had a latitude and longitude points, and then we passed those latitude and longitude points inside this tool, along with the other data set, combined, did some analysis, and actually it gave us the real-time location of where actually those faults are happening, right? We can also give an API for the Google maps or here maps, and then it can actually give you the exact location of where actually the problems is happening. So being said that, so this is very, very again, once this is all done, how do you like your user interface to be, right? How do you like the front end of yours? We currently we in there are a lot of open source tool, like uh, Django, or I'm using some terms, but you don't have to be remembering this or work on that. There are different web applications which can actually create your user interface. How do you like someone as the end user to look at your product, right? So you can create using this interface tool to create the nice user interface. He or she doesn't need not have to know what is happening at the background, right? They just need to say, for example, if this tool will give you an option of please input the keyword, and just the user input the keywords, everything at the back end runs, which is here, all the analysis which you have done, and then it will just throw the output, right? So you can create a nice interface based on the Alteryx. Data investigation. This is actually, if you see a small icon here, I don't know whether it's visible, but there is an R, right? It's also built on R, the open source tool. So you can just drag and drop, and then it does all the analysis for you. Like if you wanted to see what is the distribution, if you want to do distribution analysis, if you see use some particular distribution like normal distribution, binomial, you can use that. You can calculate the frequency table. You can even generate the heat plot. Even you can create those histogram. This histogram is completely different than what the interface sorry, the charts which I was talking about, which actually gives you that. But you can create a scatter plot, you can create a correlation plot. You just need to drag and drop and give the variables which you want to provide, right? This is all, if you have seen, I have talked about so far a data preparation and a data analysis and a reporting kind of stuff, right? So the question will be like, okay, this is all fine. This even we can do it in Excel, but this is much more faster and much more cleaner. There is very less prone of error, because inside Excel you have so much rows of data. You need to really, you may go here and there sometimes wrong in terms of numbers, but here you can't be, because whatever you provide as an input is what will be an output as well, right? So even you can do an association analysis. So this is all about data investigation. Now we just will move to the next level, which is called predictive, right? Because now everyone is talking about AI, machine learning, and deep learning. So this predictive tool is wonderful, right? Because all the latest and the greatest algorithm is already present here. We talk about the boosted model. You talk about the decision tree, forest model, then all your logistic regression, which you use it frequently. You have network analysis, you have neural networks, and this, like, you can even deploy the final model, right? In industry, it doesn't only, it's not like building an algorithm, right? You have to finally deploy it, which everyone can use it as an end user. If I don't deploy it, then my model is of no use, nobody can use it. Just that my team can use it, but not the entire company or entire management can use what I have built. So finally you need something which can be deployed. Of course there are open source like Python and other tools which can actually, or the cloud which we are talking about, where you can deploy all this model. But here it's just drag and drop, and then you can, like for example, support vector machine. uh, yeah, it contains most of the latest things which you can use it for building a model. All right, just that you can use all these things to prepare your data, and once you are done with preparation of the data, then you can use this predictive tool to just connect and give your dependent variable and also the list of independent variables, and then it does all the magic for you. Well, after all these things, you want to also do an A/B testing, like how your models are performing, how two models are performing, how the comparisons of the models, that you can also do with A/B testing, right? Uh, Very important thing, we talk about time series. Mostly all of them are here, which you can use to do a time series analysis. So they have created a separate tab for time series rather than being a part of a predictive tool. Then again, all this done, then predictive grouping, where we talk about principal components, where we talk about clustering, right? You might be thinking like, I have so far spoken about predictive, like in terms of supervised learning, but unsupervised. We also, this is also used for, MB stands for market basket analysis. So you can use this for product recommendations. You can do a principal component analysis. You can also use clustering. All this thing is done, then the next steps comes the prescriptive part of it, right? You would have heard about prescriptive analytics, which we talk about. So where you can talk about, you can use this for doing an optimization simulation. um, Actually this is a wide area. You need to really explore this tool and practice a lot to actually see that how actually every each and every component is working. Then there are different connectors. This connector is for, like, it can be connected to Amazon S3. It can be like to MongoDB database. You can even publish your Alteryx workflow to Tableau, right? Whatever you have created here, this can be actually connected to Tableau, and you can visualize all the data there in the Tableau. If you think that Alteryx is not sufficient enough to give that visualization uh, thing, then you can publish these things in Tableau, and then you can actually view all the things. And then you can connect, this is US zip code. If you wanted to do some analysis with the zip code, of course when you're working on a data which has so many zip codes, you can use this particular thing, particular tool, to actually connect with all of them and do this. The next thing is demographic analysis. I have not explored it much, but if you get some time, you can definitely explore this, like what you can do with this. Then there is also called a behavioral analysis. Maybe kind of a network analysis. Please feel free to, if you are going to try this tool, then I would recommend that instead of just focusing on only one predictive, you should try for different tool and see how things works, right? And then I have not used this much, but you can try this. See, so many different developers, right? Uh, so far whatever we have, whatever I have spoken is all about a person who don't have any background in programming, computer science, or who don't know how to code a thousand lines of code. But they have also given an option for people who are willing to as a developer, like who have a programming background, who would like to try this, right? For example, let's see, here you have Python. So I just drag this Python here, and I can just start. So that this so Jupyter notebook will be downloaded here automatically, and I can start coding in Python. Right. So this will give, even if you want to do something in R, you can directly just drag and drop, and uh, you can code it in R as well, which can be integrated as a part of your complete workflow. Right. I will explain what is actually I mean by workflow. And JSON, if you have a JSON JavaScript object, this kind of a file, then you can use this to parse the information and get the data in a proper tabular format for your analysis. Because there are many applications or many problems where the input will be in form of a JSON. So you can use this to parse and then start working on it. Then you have another option called laboratory. I have not used this much, but you should try it out. Then comes again separately the machine learning point of view, right? You might be thinking, what is the difference between a predictive and machine learning, which I have explained in my first talk. Like there is a difference between your predictive modeling and then machine learning. the the beauty of this is, like, this is called assisted modeling, right? So when you try this assisted modeling tool, you don't have to even go for uh, predictive tab, right? Because this contains everything what you need from starting from building a model, and it will also give you the interpretation of each and every field. Since it needs a license, so it's not activated in my tab, but in my tool. But if you would like to use it, I would recommend try assisted modeling. First you try all of them, and then you should try an assisted modeling, where it actually helps you in even interpretation of the biggest challenge currently in the AI industry is that interpretability of the model, right? One has to one can build a complex to complex models, but they don't know how to interpret it, right? um, so assisted modeling helps you in, it's already there is an inbuilt algorithm there. Even if you want, you can go and modify it, which can actually help you in interpretation of each and every variable which you are using in your data set, right? Finally it gives you, okay, these are the top 10 variable which are actually influencing your predictor or a dependent variable, which you say. But it goes to that level of detail that where it can actually interpret each and everything for you, and then you don't have to do anything much. You just need to create, what I showed it as a report. You can just add those report tool here, and then it automatically gives you all the interpretation and everything in one go. This is uh, this is one of the beauty of this Alteryx tool. And then you can connect to different APIs if you want, and that is one thing. Yeah, last but not least, I think the text mining part of it, which now comp- compared to all other tools, you can do much more than what you want in this, right? You can create you can do a sentiment analysis, you can do a topic modeling, you can create a word cloud, and then you can even convert your image to text. One of the use cases which I have tried recently was, suppose I have a lot of invoices, and my objective was to identify the duplicate invoices, the invoices which are duplicates, right? So you can use your Python to separately code everything using your deep learning, and then identify that which invoices are similar. This can actually helps you in stopping the fraud which is happening in any organization, right? People submit multiple duplicate invoices and they feel that nothing will detect that, right? So but you can use this you can do it in Python separately, or you can use this text mining tool, and which can actually convert it all the images into a particular format. um, one more important thing about this Alteryx is it's not only about English. So there are so many other languages which has been supported, like Russian, German, Chinese, all other different languages which are supported as a part of the Alteryx tool. So you just need to import those images inside this, and then then you have to give the option of converting that into different languages. If it's in Chinese, you want to convert it in English, you can give that option. It actually converts that into an English, and finally it gives into a nice tabular format, and then you can compare the values generated from two different invoices to see that whether they are same or different. So wonderful usage of this particular tool. And then this is connect. You might be knowing what is an ODBC, like a different database connection. So you can connect to that. Finally, you can also connect everything to Tableau. You can output all the work which you have done inside the Alteryx to a um, Tableau server or a Tableau, and you can publish all the results there. I think that's it. I think this is all about the offering from this Alteryx. Like you can get all the things which is mostly currently, right, because as a citizen data scientist sometimes happens there are tools which actually gives you only predictive, there are tools which actually gives you only data reporting, right, but there are tools which actually give you only the deep learning part of it, or a but this can actually help you in combining everything together at one place. They are still uh, enhancing this, so there will be no more versions will come where you don't have to do anything, just buy this tool, start using it, and then you can do all the analysis here. So let me start with some examples like how you go about it, but I would rather request you, once you are once this done, if you are really interested, if you see that this tool is very promising, and of course in the industry currently people are using a lot of Alteryx, including Audi, and many major companies are using this tool. So if you're interested, then you should download this and start practicing with the data, different data sets. I will show you that how things works. So let me start with something new. Yeah. So this is called the workflow place, where actually you will going to create your own uh, tool for your analysis. This place is where actually you will get all the error messages, warnings. If you have any issues with whatever you have done, it automatically gives in red color exclamation. That means there is some problem with what you have done. You can just click on this and see what errors you are getting, and then then you can further move ahead with your analysis. On your left hand side, this one is called the layout, how you would like your complete layout to be, whether it want to be horizontal, vertical, that depends on how you like to use it. And it also shows the connection progress, whether it's running, it's slow, everything. And this is the workflow. uh, this is nothing but it will give you all the information about your data set and everything. If you wanted to create an app, you have it, what do you mean by app, right? A app is like exactly what you have it in your mobile phone, right? You just click on it and it does everything and for you at the back end. So you can create your own analytic app. I will show you a demo that how the analytic app will look like. You can create your own macro, uh, like standard macro which you do it in Excel. You can create a batch macro, like if you have so much other information, you can just explore this, like what all you can create, right? Then this is, I will just keep it a standard workflow. It can actually give you a runtime, like how long it takes, where actually it's running, and these are the different information which you can actually explore and see how it works. So how it works at the beginning. So this is called the favorites palette. So whatever you, it has already been put up here, whatever you use it frequently will appear here, or you can actually go and click on this and then create your own favorite if you wanted to use it frequently. So first thing first, so it starts with importing the data, right? So what I will do first is, like, I have the data set, I wanted to do some analysis. First I will import the data. So as soon as you just need to drag and drop here, and then click on this. It, when you click on this, automatically it gives you on your left hand side how do you connect to a file or a database. Then you click on it, right? Then you go to the data source, right? Where it can actually connect to your Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, right? All other data source which it can connect to. Microsoft Azure, which we are talking about, the cloud. It can connect to the cognitive services. It can connect to Amazon. It can connect to MySQL, which we talked about. It can even connect to Google, Salesforce, SAP. So these are the different connections which you can establish to connect with your to get the data set inside this. If you have now, if you have something which is actually stored in your desktop and you wanted to bring it, you can say, you can just click on this, and then automatically all this data gets. So let's take some data set here. Uh, I will just go here and I'll select a data set and say purchase transactions daughters. So I can get this data set here. Now, if you can see my screen, um, since this is a CSV data, so it automatically this I will explain you what actually it means. The record limit, you can actually give how many records you would like to see. For example, if you have million records and you don't want to see million records, right? You want to see first 1,000 data. You can give 1,000 records, and it can just give you 1,000 records here. The next thing is what kind of file format it is. Since it's a CSV, so it's a CSV. But if you see here, there are so many different formats which it can accept, right? You have different databases. You have Microsoft Excel, Access. Then you have ODBC, where you can connect to different SQL databases. You can even use the SAS. You can even get the SPSS, Oracle databases. You can connect to so many databases here. So it automatically detects when you try to input it. Search subdirectory, you don't have to do anything, and output field name as field. So whatever the output you have, for example, this is the preview of your data set. So when I upload the data, this is the preview I can see. It gives me first 100 records. This is the purchase transaction ID, purchase time, purchase, all these fields, which actually is present inside the data set. Since it's the CSV file, it actually takes the delimiters as comma, and then it says that first row contain field names. If you uncheck it, you will see what will happen. If you check it, what will happen. That I will leave it up to you to explore. Then start import data on line 1. Yes, correct. So because my data is from the line 1, and then all other things is not much required for you if you would like to explore further. So now once I have the data, what I would like to do, I would like to see how the data looks like, right? I can see the data set here, but if I wanted to see the data set in my window where I can use it to analyze, I need to connect this browse tool. So this is very important tool, which you can use it very frequently at any point of stage when you are building something. What will happen is that you can really look at the data, how it's, what actually it is telling. Let me show you what I mean. So so you can just directly drag and drop, and it automatically connects to this. So I just run it, and it says finished running in 0.3 seconds. Then if you would like to know how much time it takes, and then if I click on this, I can clearly see here my data set, right? So whenever I'm doing some operations on my data set, and if I'd like to see what's happening inside that, is it working correctly, I can use this tool everywhere to just browse it and see that, okay, whether my operations are performing correctly or not. On your left hand side, when you click on that, when you run this, you can see your description of each and every field, what is actually present there, right? How many times this particular thing has appeared. It will give also the count of that. It has appeared 1 times. Then it actually also gives you, suppose you can also identify if there are any duplicates here, but there are different ways where you can find it out, but this will actually help you in it. So all the fields which are actually is present in the data set, you can see the complete so 1362, right? This is the product number, which has appeared 18 times. So you know that, okay, fine, so 18 times this particular product has appeared in this. So like this, you have description for all of them. So now I will just show you a few more things. So, okay. So I have a data set where I would like to see I'm just getting into the use case, but I will not go in detail because I will leave it up to you to just practice and see how things works. So suppose I wanted to prepare an annual report, complete report. So don't think that, okay, first I will do the analysis here and then I will go to the Word document or Excel file, copy paste all the information from there and put it inside a night Word document, convert it into PDF. Don't think that. Think that I wanted to produce a report and everything Alteryx can do, right? Within the Alteryx itself, I can generate the report and send an email to the person, and I don't have to do anything else. So that's your end goal. Um, so you don't have to think about Word, Excel, PD, converting into PDF format, uh, and sending it to someone to email, attaching it. You don't have to worry about it. Everything is done by Alteryx itself. So then if you want to prepare an annual reports and you have three metrics which you wanted to calculate, right? Sales by product and year, total overall sales, and customer loyalty program. So what I will generally do, I'll create a nice workflow. So what I have done earlier, I have shown you that I have included the purchase data set, which has the purchase ID, purchase date time, purchase price, and everything. Now, as a next step, you can also use this browse tool, see how automatically it connects to that. So if you wanted to see how is your data, and you can even put it here to see at each and every stage what is happening inside your data. So you don't have to, it's like not a black box where, oh, once I started, there is an end and I don't know what's happening in between. So you can pull your browse tool every time here to see what actually it's happening inside your data. So once I have the data, sometimes what happens is that I do not have to select all the column which is required, right? So as soon as bring a select statement, select tool from here, this automatically comes in the favorite. So you just drop the select tool and select only the columns or the rows which is actually required for it. Now please observe that as soon as you brought this, it actually identifying the type of the variable it is. So you don't have to say whether it's an integer, it's a decimal, or it automatically detects. So this is, and you can also change it. For example, if you feel that something is not correct, which the Alteryx has done, you can convert that into a particular format, whichever. Say you can convert this ID into an integer 64. So that becomes, because it's an ID, right? It's but here, if you can see, there is a mix of characters. So you just keep it as a V string, is a string character. So this will help you in. This is one of the things where one of the very important thing, because at the final analysis there will be 100 variables, so you don't need all of them. You need only one things which you are going to use for your analysis and also for predictive purpose. There is something called autofill, which I have connected here. This is the advanced version of your select cell. So you, if you don't need the select, you can directly connect to autofill, and it automatically detects what actually your fields are, right, and helps you in further analysis. Then see, this is not the exact way you should also do it. It's all in your mind. How do you programmatically or logically you wanted to do your analysis? Like first I will input the data, then I will select few things, then I will try to filter few things, I will create few formulas. So ideally it depends on your problem, how do you like to solve. Need not have to be the same way what I have built it. So you just need to, in your mind, you need to think that, okay, this is how I'm going to do the analysis, and this is how my workflow will look like. So once this is done, then I need, so I am doing, if you can see my comments area, I'm going to do the analysis between 2016 and 17 data. My data will have, say, 10 years of data, but I wanted to do, identify the sales which has happened in 2016 and 17. So what I will do generally, I'll go to an Excel file, I have the entire data set, I will apply a filter, and I will just select the date from 2016 and 17, and then I will use that data, copy paste somewhere else and do the analysis, right? Rather, you can just bring this filter tool here. This is for preparation. So all the data preparation which you would like to do, you can use it here. So I will just bring this filter tool here. This is wonderful, right? Because what happens is here, as soon as you bring the filter tool and click on it, you can see what different, all the different columns are present here. So if I say purchase ID, if it will give me a different option, whether it's greater than, equal to, depends on the type of the variable it is, right? So if I select purchase date time, it gives me a date, right? Whether it's between this date on that date, or it's so you can select your date here. You can just go and select what kind of which, from which period to which period you want, and then it automatically picks it. Whatever you do here, this is actually present here, right? So it actually writes an expression like you do it in your Excel. You write if bracket error, and this particular variable is greater than this, then comma 1 or 0. So similar thing, it automatically does it here. Now the beauty of it has so many functions, right? Let me show you. you have conditional statements, you have conversion within the conditional. This is similar to like Excel. Like you can say if state, you can write your own if statement and create your own. Then you have conversions, you can convert into different boolean integer to this number to this. Then you have date time, which is quite often we use it in our analysis, like converting from date to time. You just need to click on this and automatically that thing comes into your particular tab. And then you can use all this file. If for finance related, you can calculate the CAGR, then NPR, NPV. These are the formulas which actually we type it in Excel and do it, right? So you don't have to do it. Mathematical functions, everything you can. You might be thinking, okay, if everything is there, what is there in Excel? So why I need to use this, right? So what happens is once you create this, you can save it as you can browse it and save it as a new workflow, right? And when you need it, just you need to import that and run it. I'm for the same thing. For example, if I wanted to create an age group, I have created this workflow flow for calculating the age group. Tomorrow, what happens that new data set comes, or you'll work on a new different problem, but there as well you need to calculate the age groups. You just need to import that what you have created and just import the new data set and automatically gives the uh, age group for you. So you don't have to again go there, create the bins and do it in Excel. Rather, just replace the old data set with a new data set and it actually does everything for you. And you can enlarge it and see however you like. Then once this is done, now so far I spoke about how do you filter the data set, like a particular between a particular time period. So it actually gives you between this date and this date. You can even write, if you want another condition to be written, you can write and see how automatically it's giving you the different options, right? And if I say and product number, the product number is one of the variable which is present in our data set. So I can say product number equal to say 1321. So you can write your own conditions below that. So and this is the function which you can use it to create a lot of functions. And this is actually gives you an existing column, right? You can create your own. Sorry, this is actually the columns which are actually present in your Excel file. You can select those like purchase ID and you can say equal to some number. So you can write. You don't. It's not like only whatever it gives, but you can customize it based on what is your requirement. Once this is all done, so my next step will be. So once this is filter is done, you can observe there are two nodes which are coming out of this. One is T and one is F. So if the condition is true, T stands for true, F stands for false. So if the condition is true, like if I have whatever the 2016 between 2017 is correct, then this will come through this. So if you just look at the data set, all of them will be between 2016 to 2017. So because that is true, the condition is true. If it's false, then if you can see that when you click on the false, there is nothing which is between 2016 and 17, right? So that is the meaning of true and false. So you can just directly connect this to a final output data set and output everything whatever you want, the particular data. So you don't have to do it in Excel and copy filter that and copy paste in another field and do everything on. Now if I wanted to, the next step is like once this is done, filtering is done, I wanted to bring the product information. So this is the purchase information which I showed. Now I wanted to bring the product information. Now you can again go back and input the data set and bring the product data set here. Now once this is done, what you need to do is that combine the both data set and make it as one data set for analysis. So that is where this join will come into picture, where you can just pull this join tool and you can connect the data set which is having a true between 2016 and 17, and then you have this product information coming from here. So this will join and this will give you the complete list of all the information. On your left hand side, if you can see, once you bring that join tool, it actually gives you a nice like what you would like to connect with. What is the common field between the two data set, whether it's a product number or a product whatever it is. So it actually gives you the common field. You can select the common field between both for joining, and then finally it will give you the data set, which is a combination of all your both the data set. Now this is for one data set, right? Two data set which we are trying to join, left and right. What if we have 5 to 6 data set and we would like to join all of them to bring into one data set, right? So now if you can see this join, there is only two connection nodes. One is this left and one is right. But if you have 5 different things, you cannot use this. Then you can use your join multiple option, which is here, and then connect your 3 different data sources to this, and then finally combine all of them to get your results. So this is basically how the workflow is. Quite intuitive. When you click on this, again it will ask like what is the common field between all the 3 data set. So mine is customer ID is common in is present in all the thing. So I will just combine all of them and then generate my report. Once this is all done, you can just go here and then you can say select the basic table which you would like to create. Just click on this and then select all the options which you need. It's quite intuitive. You don't need any like, oh, I need to understand so much to do this. So this actually creates a table inside your final report, right? And finally you can directly you can do this, where actually you can save it in a PDF format, you can save it in an HTML format or Word document, Excel document. But before all these things are to happen, you need to do many things. Like you can bring this interactive chart, which I spoke about, which this interactive chart will help you in configuring the charts. Whatever the analysis you have done, you can look at here. So if you see a layer and add a layer, when you click on add the layer, it gives you what kind of chart which you'd like to plot: area, bar, heat map, line chart, scatter chart. And then you can give your x-axis, y-axis, and then you can just, once you plot it, you can also select the area which you would like to see in deep, right? Why this particular spikes are there. Then you can do like this, and it actually automatically gives you the location or the area where actually you need more attention. Because sometimes we get a graph, but if you want to really dig deep into it, we don't know how to do it in Excel. But this will give you like hovering. You can just do this, and you can just go in detail each and every charts how this is done, and then then you can modify your uh, once you do all these things, then you can even add your notes, um, like what actually this particular graph is talking about. You can add the text here, you can add anything. And because if you in Excel you need to bring this particular arrow pointing towards a particular bar and say that what actually it is, and then a lot of work. So here just add a notes and then it does everything for you. And the beauty is that you can save this, and when next time a new set of data set comes, you just need to replace this original data set with that data set, change few things here, which how do you like to see, and just run it. When you click on run, it automatically run everything for you and gives you a final report. And even you can finally connect and give an email address here. So this is your server name which you would like to give, SMPT, and these are from and to field, like whom you would like to send this to, whom you would like to copy or anything. And attachments, you can add attachments, anything, any attachment would you like to, like it's a PDF format, which I mentioned here. You can download the report as a PDF format, and this will automatically pick in that what you would like to send as an attachment. So that's it. So this is a complete workflow of starting from importing the data, selecting all the required fields, filtering whatever. Another important one which I would like to show is the formula. So you can create your own formula, like you do it in Excel, right? So these are my existing columns in the data set. I can add a new column called bins, and like that I can keep adding so many columns. I can create new columns. This is the same as different functions which you can use to do it. This will list us all the new variables which have been created. And then if you see that it is too you know congested, just you can just minimize those button, and you can see you can add age group, and then you can add gender, And if you just, these are the formulas which you can create to calculate it. And then as soon as you do this, you write the formula here in the data preview, you can see what your output looks like. That's again, it's not like black box that, oh, whether whatever I have written here will work or not, whether I have created the bin, whether it will work or not. So you write your expressions here, and then you can see in this preview how the final output will look for these bins. So it can be foolproof. So, and then you can change your data type to string, whatever, however format you want. So, and then this is the beauty of formula tool. And then the other tools, I would request that whenever you get time, just try to uh, go through each one of them and see how it works. Because as a basic module, you can definitely generate many things with the basic Alteryx version as well. One of these app, one of the use cases was like, if I have a data set and I would like to search a particular keyword inside that. Imagine that you're working in an organization, especially in the legal team, where you have hundreds of documents or PDF documents, and if somebody would like to check whether there is an anti-bribery word present in that particular documents or not. I cannot go through each and every PDF which is 100 pages, right? I cannot go through each and every Word document which is having a kind of a manual and search where actually this anti-bribery is present. Yeah, I can do that by Control F and write this anti-bribery, and it will take, but it will not give everything for me in one time. I can do one document at a time. So I have created one something called counting the keywords. What actually it does is that it's a kind of an app uh, where it searches for a particular keyword inside a document, and it gives you where actually that is present. This is an AI, right? Because here I'm not doing any data analysis here, rather I'm doing automating something to intelligently get those information from. This is one of the example of Alteryx where you can use AI. Not only this, but there are many other use cases which so this is the kind of a thing which you need to build. Don't get scared away, because it's all simple. You just need to know what actually you want to do. If you understand that, okay, first it has to search through the PDF, and then it should get all the information which is relevant to this. It should group by, it should concatenate. If this is the programmatically, if that is in your mind, then you need not have to worry about this. It may looks complex, but this is the simplest thing which you can do. Once this is done, right, I will give you like what actually I have and how I will do it. So this is the document which I have. Let's say these are the, imagine that this is my document which having all these texts. And if I wanted to search for a particular keyword or a particular thing, let's say I wanted to search for science, crazy, imagination, right? Find these keywords inside this document. Then step by step, it automatically does it. I don't have to do anything manually. Let me show you. Once I create this and save it as an, remember I have showed that how the interface will look like finally, the user interface, right? I wanted to so what, as a user I would like to insert a keyword, and it should search through the documents, and it should send me the final Excel file with all the results. So this is the user interface. Okay, as a user I will enter the keyword, and then it search through my document. It splits the word, it does all the text mining kind of stuff, where it removes all those punctuations, commas, and everything, and convert that into one text, and then finally gives me the output. So when you create this, you're creating an app. It's regular like an app or an application, right? Whenever you create an application, something that this is kind of a wizard, right? Kind of a logo comes. So when I click on this, can you see my screen? How it say asks me for enter a keyword? I say science. So the other things won't be visible to you, but I will show you how it works. Now, this once I do this, then automatically it gives me two output files. One is the keyword count, how many times this particular science word has appeared in my document, original document, and the location of the sentences where actually it is present with exactly this. So when I say finish, I say okay, It won't be visible for you because I am just sharing only the Alteryx, but it generates two Excel file, and it gives me, yeah. So once this is done, it gives me a final two Excel output with the keyword count and everything. So simple. You don't have to go and programming using Python or R to give a document, and you write so many lines of code to identify that how to extract those information and create a web application. You don't have to complex your life so much, right? Everything can be done in only one thing. This use case you can relate to in your day-to-day life. When you're reading about something, you search for so many books and see that, oh, this is present here, that is present there. Instead of that, you create this, imported your data, and it automatically gives you where actually it is present. So you just need to focus on those particular rows or those particular document where this particular keyword is present. So with this, I would like to wrap up my session, and I would like to I'm open for any questions and answer. I would recommend that you go through all this on your own, explore, because too much of things, too many things, if I tell, then it will not help you in terms of remembering or doing. But when you do a lot of practice with this, then definitely you will appreciate it, like how it can solve my problem so quickly. So I think Dr. Deepak, Dr. Hema, I think I'll wrap up my session here.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Sumit.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the data pre-processing imputation, that step also we can do in this, sir, for a specific.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you can see here data cleansing, imputation, right? So when you click on that, it automatically gives you the variable which you would like to clean and what you would like to impute with. And if you are not happy with mean, median,